What if we could take you back in time? Back to the summer of 1987, where a shy, idealistic girl named Baby walked into Kellerman's resort and stumbled into a dance that changed her life and all of ours. That's Dirty Dancing. Not just a film, but a phenomenon. A love story wrapped in rhythm, rebellion, and unforgettable moments. The soundtrack topped charts. The lift became legendary. And the stars? Well, they became icons. Today, we revisit 5 unforgettable cast members from this classic. What were their roles like back then? And where are they now, decades later? Let's start where it all began. Number 1. Jennifer Grey as Baby. She wasn't looking for love. She was just a teenager on summer vacation, with a notebook full of big dreams and an even bigger heart. But Baby didn't just fall in love with Johnny. She discovered herself. Jennifer Grey brought something incredibly raw and relatable to the role. She wasn't perfect. She was clumsy, awkward, idealistic, and that's exactly why audiences loved her.
Yes, I swear it's a truth.
When she nailed that final lift, it wasn't just a dance move. It was a symbol of growth, of freedom, of becoming. What many fans don't know is that Jennifer and Patrick Swayze weren't exactly best friends off camera. In fact, they had clashed before during a previous project. But when the cameras rolled, their chemistry, undeniable. And yes, that final lift in the lake, it wasn't rehearsed. Jennifer was terrified, but they did it anyway, and that moment became cinematic history. Fast forward to today, Jennifer Grey is still inspiring. In 2010, she surprised everyone by winning Dancing with the Stars, proving she still had the moves and the heart. In recent years, she's opened up about her journey, including a challenging recovery from spinal surgery and the emotional roller coaster of aging in Hollywood. She's released a powerful memoir, sharing stories of insecurity, identity, and survival in a business that often forgets its stars. Now in her 60s, Jennifer has embraced her truth and become a voice for authenticity and resilience. And yes, she's working on a Dirty Dancing sequel. Set to reprise her role as Baby, Jennifer is not only starring, but also executive producing, promising to honor the legacy of the original while introducing it to a new generation. Decades may have passed, but one thing hasn't changed. Nobody puts Baby in a corner. Number 2. Patrick Swayze as Johnny Castle. The brooding dance instructor, the rebel with rhythm, the man who showed us that vulnerability and strength could exist in the same heartbeat. Patrick Swayze brought fire to Johnny, a blend of smoldering charisma and quiet tenderness. Johnny wasn't just a dance partner. He was a protector, a fighter, a man trying to break free from the labels others forced on him. And when he walks in during that final scene,
nobody puts Baby in a corner.
Telling the world that nobody puts Baby in a corner, well, that line still gives people chills. Patrick worked hard for that role. He trained like an athlete, even while dealing with a painful knee injury. He pushed through, determined to bring depth and grace to Johnny. He even helped choreograph parts of the film, including that steamy rehearsal scene that made movie history. Off-screen, Patrick was a multi-talented artist, an actor, dancer, singer, and even a licensed pilot. He followed Dirty Dancing with a string of hits: Ghost, Point Break, Roadhouse. But behind the scenes, he was fighting a silent battle. In 2008, Patrick revealed he had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. He faced the illness head-on, continuing to work and inspire. Sadly, he passed away in 2009 at the age of 57. Even today, his presence is felt. His legacy lives on in films, in tribute dances, in fan art, in the stories people tell about how Dirty Dancing changed their lives. His widow, Lisa Nemi, continues to honor his memory, supporting cancer research and sharing his story with grace. Patrick Swayze will always be Johnny Castle, a dancer, a dreamer, and a legend who will never be forgotten. Number 3. Cynthia Rhodes as Penny Johnson. Penny Johnson. She was elegance and pain, power and vulnerability. As Johnny's dance partner, Penny seemed unstoppable until life threw her a curveball. Cynthia Rhodes brought real depth to this role. Penny's story wasn't just about dancing. It was about sacrifice, struggle, and the quiet strength of a woman caught in a moment of crisis. Her arc gave the film emotional weight beyond the romance. Cynthia had a background in dance before acting. You may have seen her in Flashdance or Staying Alive. Her grace on screen was no accident. She lived it. After Dirty Dancing, Cynthia acted in a few more films, but in the early 90s, she stepped away from Hollywood. She married singer Richard Marx in 1989 and devoted herself to raising their 3 children. Now, she lives a quiet life, away from the spotlight. Though no longer active in film, she's remembered by fans as the soul of strength in Dirty Dancing. And while she may not be on Instagram or TikTok, her performance still moves people today. Every time Penny steps into that studio with tears in her eyes and elegance in her bones. Number 4. Jerry Orbach as Dr. Jake Houseman. Now let's talk about Dr. Jake Houseman, Baby's father. A man of principle, proud, and protective. At first, he's the classic overbearing dad. But as the film unfolds, so does he. He learns, he grows, and in the end, he supports his daughter's truth. That quiet nod of approval in the final scene, that was everything. Jerry Orbach brought wisdom and gravitas to the role. Already a respected Broadway actor, he had starred in Chicago and 42nd Street before stepping into the world of Kellerman's Resort. What's fascinating is that Jerry had the foresight to negotiate a percentage of the film's profits, and considering how massive the movie became, that was a very smart move. After Dirty Dancing, he found even more fame playing Detective Lenny Briscoe on Law & Order, a role he held for over a decade. Sadly, Jerry passed away in 2004, but his legacy endures. From stage to screen, he was a master at balancing strength with softness. And as Dr. Houseman, he taught us that sometimes the greatest act of love is letting go. Number 5. Kelly Bishop as Marjorie Houseman. Finally, let's not forget Marjorie Houseman, Baby's mother. She may not have had the flashiest lines, but Kelly Bishop made every one of them count. Marjorie was the bridge between generations, a woman rooted in tradition, yet quietly supportive of her daughter's awakening. What many don't know is that Kelly was originally cast in a different role, but the producers saw something special in her, and they were right. Kelly went on to become a television icon, best known for her role as Emily Gilmore in Gilmore Girls. That same commanding presence, that razor-sharp delivery, it was there in Dirty Dancing too. Today, Kelly continues to act in both TV and theater. In interviews, she often recalls the freezing water during lake scenes, the unexpected success of the film, and how it shaped her career in ways she never imagined. She's embraced aging gracefully, becoming a role model for women in Hollywood who refuse to disappear with time. In Dirty Dancing, Marjorie didn't steal the spotlight. She held it steady, quietly guiding her family. And in real life, Kelly Bishop's career has done exactly that. Dirty Dancing was a surprise hit, made on a tight budget with modest expectations. But something magical happened. It grossed over $214 million worldwide. The soundtrack sold more than 32 million copies. It wasn't just about dance. It was about standing up for yourself, about falling in love, not just with someone else, but with who you're becoming. And every single one of these cast members helped make that story real. So here we are, decades later, and Dirty Dancing still moves us. If this story brought back memories, or if you learned something new today, we'd love to hear about it in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We've got more iconic cast stories coming your way. Until next time, stay bold, stay curious, and remember, nobody puts your favorite memories in a corner.